hot. What are you talking about? Well,
Yes, she's a low 6 tops.
Okay, says someone that's like the only time he ever sees a 0 is when he's looking at a donut.
You're right. You're absolutely right, because I don't mess with zeros. Are you ready to get started? Because you're starting to bore me.
The way he's sitting, it looks like
Oh,
it does, Joey. You didn't think that through. It should be higher, or you should make yourself lower.
You don't got no work to do. You don't even got a job.
I do, Joey. I really do.
No. What? What do you got to do, Jamie? Nothing. Shut up. All right. What are you doing?
Taking my temperature.
Oh, God.
Yep. Says I'm hot. Sizzling.
Is that your pregnancy test?
It's the thermometer, you idiot.
Oh, maybe you can call the daddy. If you knew
On
who he
what?
was. Okay,
What?
here we go. What? Sorry?
I didn't hear what you said.
Don't worry about it.
It's okay. I don't care.
Yeah, cool.
Lord, Lord, have mercy, help me, Lord. Help me, Lord.
All right, here we go. Jamie, you be quiet. To be introduced to this young lady. She's open for Kenny Rogers, Lee Ann Womack, I believe that's her name because I don't listen to country music, and other famous people. Ladies and gentlemen, this young lady says she's too old for me, but quite frankly, I know how to make her call me daddy. Ladies and gentlemen, Anne Lomax. Heather, how you doing today?
Good. You guys are keeping me rolling, keeping me in stitches.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Jaime Kay's in the house. Jamie, say hello.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Okay, moving on. So Heather, how you been?
I've been good, thank you. I can't complain. Cannot complain.
And Jamie, how you been?
Oh gosh, I have been fantastic, Joey. A lot of things are going on, and thank you so much for having me here. I actually felt better until I saw your face.
Heather. So what I was planning on asking you today was all about your career. So let's get started.
That is how you interview someone? Seriously?
Yes, I learned
Heather,
from the
tell me
best.
about your career. How you doing, little lady? I hear you sing songs. And you opened up for Kenny Womack or somebody because I don't listen to country music. Would you like me to do it, Heather? Because I can do it a lot better.
Yes, actually, you can ask me.
I'm sure Joey has heard that from a lot of women.
Oh, that's gonna leave a mark.
Heather, so you're from Kansas City.
Yeah.
So
Chiefs.
Tell me about Kansas City.
Well, what you want to know? Actually, I'm proud to be a Kansas City girl, and you know, it's a great town. It's a great town. It's super hot in the summer. It's probably quite a bit like Alabama. It's super humid, super cold in the winter, but it's a great town, great city. I've got several friends there from my school, high school, college. I went to KU, Jayhawks, Rock Chalk. So it's just a great town. It's you know, I don't know. It's just middle America. And what you see is what you get, which I really like. I like that in a town. Don't you?
You know, since I knew that you was coming on the show, I read up on you, and I noticed it says that you was adopted.
Correct.
but you also find the birth present. Like, you know what? Everybody at home who's watching, I'm watching my sister looking at me, and I can't get a question off because she is like shaking her head. I wish I could see her now. She's like shaking her head, smirking. Like these. So Jamie, if you got better questions, what would you ask her?
I will. Thank you. Heather, you know I am a longtime fan, and you have been on my show, the Jungle Room podcast, and we have played a lot of your music on our episodes throughout season 4. Now, we've talked a lot, and you know that one of my favorite songs that you have out right now is See You Again. Can you talk to us a little bit about what inspired you to write such a song and where it all comes from?
Oh, okay. Well, you know, my last record was inspired by Elvis Presley. And, you know, the format more specifically for you Elvis fans is based on his From Elvis in Memphis. And so I took a tapestry of just a bunch of different genres, put them all together. And See You Again is kind of a really mystical song. And I saw a picture. Is my light going in and out, you guys? I feel like I'm blinking in and out, but maybe not.
No, you're good.
Okay, so that song, I saw a picture of Elvis with a turntable in his lap coming back from New York City to Memphis. And it just really affected me. And I was so enthralled with this photo. And Alfred Wertheimer, please help me God, took that photo and a series of photos, and I based that song around that photo, specifically coming back from the train from New York City to Memphis. And so kind of wrote a song around it.
Nice. And you also...
You have got like a pageant smile, girl. I just got to tell you.
Sorry.
Your sister is lovely. How, yeah.
Well, I want to talk. I'm trying to remember. So Joey, don't have to edit this out. But the song that I've played like 2 or 3 times on my show, we've talked about the song, and I cannot remember the name of it, and I've played it on my show so many times. It's a kick-ass song.
Yeah, that one.
You know what I'm talking? Like it's that song.
Whoa! Did you have
giving it to the guy?
Did you have permission to use that song?
Obviously.
I don't think you did.
Yes, I did.
Allegedly.
I play all. Heather is part of the Jungle Room team. She is our musical talent. Yes, Joey, you're part of our team. You're like the before picture of what not to do in any kind of scenario.
That's why you look like Skeletor right now. Won't you hush with your 3 necks?
Okay. Really, Joey? Really? This looks like 3 necks. This is fabulous right here.
I just want this to be a part of like the SmackDown episode. It's going to be between brother and sister, and it'll be interesting. We can use claymation figures.
Well, you're going to have to get a lot of clay to make Joey.
Oh, no, she didn't. Do you have any reply to that, Mr. Joey?
No, when we were little, this is a true story, and she's going to be so mad that I'm telling this. My sister and I, when we told our brother that he was the placenta, and they threw the baby away.
Oh, no.
But he was little. He didn't really understand. So he just went back outside and ate dirt.
He ate dirt.
Oh, he did eat dirt. That kid would eat anything. It was...
It's all.
But he was so cute though. Like you had to like protect him and love him because he was like this blonde, big blue-eyed little boy, and he was so sweet. And he would call. You know what he used to call me? Mimi. Mimi. He was the sweet. Heather, I'm telling you, that little boy. He was the sweetest little boy. I don't know what happened to him, but as a kid, he was great. He was cute. He was funny, and we would take him to the store, and everything was $2. He's like, buy it for me. It's only $2.
Oh,
he was so cute.
You're
That's how I remind myself. I go back to that little boy that he was, and I was like, oh yeah, I love him. I love my brother. Because somewhere
surreal.
deep under all that stuff that's him now, there's that little sweet boy.
How do you feel about that, Joey?
She's so full of shit. It's like funny. Oh my goodness gracious. I hear you, Jamie. That's why you got charisma. Right there, all that
Oh,
BS.
look at you using those big words.
Yeah. All right. Get back to the interview.
All right, let's go on. Okay,
Where do we leave off?
sorry, I'm trying to remember that song, and as soon as we are done here, I'm the worst at remembering titles, but it's one of my favorite songs that you sing because the emotion with all of your songs, you feel the song. Like you have a way. You're one of those artists that whatever you sing, you feel, and you resonate that in your music, and so I feel the emotions whenever you sing, and I think that's why I love your music so much. Tell me, when did you get started in music, deciding that, hey, I want to make this dream a reality?
Well, first of all, that's like one of the greatest compliments I could ever get, because if you're feeling it and it registers to you emotionally, spiritually, then I've done my job. And I'm so, so happy to hear that. Well, I started back in Kansas City, but really it wasn't until I moved to Los Angeles that things started, rolling a little bit more. I was more country when I first started out. Well, folk rock, and then moved to country because I was inspired by my friend who is from the Ozarks, and just from the music that was sung and played there by her whole family. So I had a group called the Ozark Mountain Thrush. And so we started with just a trio and then moved on from there. And then I had a record under my adopted name, Michael Ann, called Heavy Load, and just leave that there on the table. And then this record, like I said, was really inspired by my love and respect for Elvis, and this one is called All This Time. So this is really the first record under my birth name. So
Awesome. I want to go back to you being adopted. And I want to know, when you did you always know that you were adopted, or was this something that was told to you at an older age?
Yeah, I was told when I was maybe, I don't know, 6 years old. And I remember running out of the house and going, hey, guess what? I'm adopted. And I thought that was the greatest thing. I had no idea at 6 years old what that meant, or, it didn't have any weight. So, but I tell you, it's so interesting because there are so many similarities and things that I have in common with my birth family that is just extraordinary to me. So I do believe that your DNA does play a part in who you are.
So you did meet your birth family. Talk to us about that. How old were you? What was that experience like?
Well, I met them in 2016. My uncle is probably he knows, he's got quite a memory. My Uncle King. 2016, maybe 17, help me out. Anyway, it was extraordinary because I had been searching for a very long time, and this is a whole nother podcast. But suffice to say, I put everything aside because I was under the impression that my birth mother did not want to meet me, because I had thought that I had found her, but that really wasn't the case. And one day I turned on the TV and Long Lost Family was on, and it just sparked something within me. And it just kind of put the idea in my head again of, oh, maybe I should look into finding my family again. And then I turned it off. Next day, different channel, whatever, the same program was on, Long Lost Family. I'm like, okay, God, this is for me anyway. I'm going to try, but this is super scary because I've been trying for years and years and to no avail. So I ended up going on 23andMe and put in my, you spit in a tube and send it in. And turns out my first cousin was on there, my birth cousin, Karen. And so and let me share this with you because I was ready to throw in the towel and just call it a day about finding my birth family. And so this was my last straw. And I just was like, oh, hey, you're probably not my family, but, I was born on November 2nd. And did you happen to have an aunt? And, and she started emailing me back and was like, oh my God, yeah, this is all matching up. And so she contacted my uncle and my uncle confirmed all this stuff. And that started the ball rolling. When I met my uncle, my mom, my birth mom has sadly passed, but I went out to Omaha, Nebraska and met my uncle and my cousins. And my cousin Jenny also came down. She was living in Los Angeles. She's an animator and illustrator. So, but she is now freelancing. She's gonna kill me. Is this either in Washington State, I think? But she drove down with her daughter and brought me my mom's original guitar that she had. So that was like a really powerful, emotional moment. And then I met my dad's side of the family. My dad is still with us and my sisters. And it's just been, in a nutshell, a really beautiful experience. And I'm lucky. I know not everybody has that experience. So super grateful. It's grounded me and answered so many questions about who I am and where I came from. And we, you take those things for granted. And then, right? And I know your mom passed and I'm so sorry. And you start connecting these things with your roots and where you came from, and it's a real powerful thing and a really, really great thing. Question?
So Heather, let me ask you this. How do you separate your relationship with your adopted family with your birth family?
Okay, well, yeah, that is a good question and it is a little sticky, because you go throughout these years. I mean, I had cousins and with my adopted family, and my brother's not my birth brother. I'm not related to him via DNA, but we've gone through a lot together. So he's always my brother. His, girls are always my nieces, and I love them as my own flesh and blood. And same with any of my, family, my adopted family that I grew up with. I really want to put that out there.
So your adopted parents were very supportive of you meeting your biological parents?
No, they passed away 4 years ago, and it was a sticky subject. It was sticky. And what happened was my adopted dad, his mom and dad had both passed, and he was looking through pictures of family. And I thought, I don't look a thing like these people. You know what I mean? Just felt very different. And so, I was like, this is really cool for you. This is your family. But in all honesty, that's not really my family. You know what I mean? And I think he got it. And he was cooperative after that. But I think they felt threatened at first. And if anybody's listening to this that has adopted kids, please, it's that whole, if you love something, set it free kind of. Right? Because I think we're all entitled as human beings to know where we came from. So, yeah, that's it.
Well, I can say this. You know, I talked to you over the phone, and I only met you I only talked to you a couple times over the phone, and we Facebook messages each other. And just off the vibe you give out, you seem like someone that is very cool, very relaxed. And, you know, I've joked around with you a couple times. You took all my jokes. And quite frankly, I think anybody who's part of your family is a lucky person. But I really have, we was talking about hit songs, and you was talking about some of the songs that Jamie listens to. One song that registers with me is Heart Don't Lie. And I really want to know what the inspiration was for that song when you wrote it.
Well, you know, that song, three. That song, I wrote in like 5 minutes. I was up one night late at night, and just thinking about someone that I had a relationship with, and just felt just a real soul connection. And just missing that person. And I think we've all probably had an experience like that, you know. So yeah, that was a really quick song to write. And I'm surprised. That's actually, you know, you look at statistics and stuff, and a lot of people really like that song. A lot of people just with radio and seeing what songs are being played, or Spotify or whatever, iTunes. A lot of people really have liked that song. So yeah.
That's one of my favorites too. I want to go back just really quick about your adoption and how you didn't feel like you really belonged within your family. And it reminded me of Priscilla Boyle Presley and what she felt when she found out that the man that had raised her was not her biological father. I know that you've read Elvis and Me. I know that you follow the history of Elvis and his family. But I want to know, do you find yourself having a connection with Priscilla Presley?
You know, I feel for her, if anything, I really, you know, I have to say the fact that she was sort of thrust in this world of a superstar, and whether she sort of navigated that or not, the fact remains she was 14, 15 years old. And I remember being 14, 15 and had no clue what I was doing. Okay. So the fact that she was thrust in that world and, you know, trying so hard to please Elvis or whatever, this huge superstar, is just mind-boggling to me. And I think towards the end of the book, where she started really trying to find out who she was as a person and grew and took that challenge regardless of that path that she took, I respect the fact that she was sort of like a phoenix from the fire and really wanted to find out who she was. And I relate to that. So yeah, I do respect that about her. You know, it's so easy to throw stones and say, oh, she's a bad person or this, or, you know, whatever you think. And the reality is we all have our own issues, our own, you know, path that we're traveling. And it's easy to cast judgment from the outside without knowing really what someone's going through in their life and what they had to struggle through in order to get on the other side. You know what I mean? Right. So I respect that. I really do. It wasn't so much ironically, I mean, I related to it with her adoption. I related to it. And I felt for her. I felt that, I mean, because there's a loneliness I think a lot of adopted kids have. Not everybody. And ironically, I found out statistically, it's more the women adoptees that, like my brother found his family name was thrilled, but he really, I mean, it was his fiance that really searched things out for him, not so much as out of his own volition. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
Thank you for sharing
yeah.
all about adoption. I want to move on. As we are recording this, it is October 2020. We're still in a pandemic.
Yeah.
And I want to know how you're dealing with your music career during all this craziness that we're in right now.
You know, I'm having the recollection of you saying, so what, when I first had that interview with you and you said, so what does it look like for you in 2020 and whatever? And I'm like, well, things are shut down now, but we'll see. And
yeah. Well, we thought it was going to be fine by the summer. I mean,
oh yeah. And I thought I was going to be there for Memphis. I was planning on.
We both were going to be in Memphis in August.
Yeah, and going to do some shows down in Memphis when I was there.
Mm-hmm.
That fell through. I had a tour set up that fell through. So none of that's happening. I do have a group that I'm working with, these women called the Wild West, that are LA musicians who are all, you know, women musicians in their own right, with their own careers, music careers, that were getting together and writing songs and stuff, 6 of us. So that's something I just started, you know, you guys, I said this, I've not been inspired to write lately. I mean, granted, I'm in the middle, I just sold my house, not sure where I'm living. So I'm in a hotel right now. Thank you very much. But so I just have not felt the unction. I have to be inspired to write. I can't just go, okay, I'm going to write a new song now. If I did, which I've tried, because some people will tell you, oh, you just need to do it every day. I got to say, you know, just my daughter's friend was over a couple of days ago and was writing her first song, and I was inspired by that. So I started writing. I'm like, oh my God, thank the Lord that things started a little bit happening again, because it's scary. It's like, is the muse gonna come, or you know, the inspiration ever gonna come again? And I feel you, because I have written songs, you guys, that were not, that I forced myself to write, and I went, oh my God, this is terrible. And I don't want to put out anything that doesn't come from my heart, you know, and that sounds so trivial, but it's really true. I'd rather people connect with it. So
right.
I had a dry spell. Had me a dry spell. What's going on over there, Mr. Joey? What are you doing? What are you doing, Joey?
I was sitting here looking at pictures of you.
Did you fall asleep while I was talking?
No, actually, I was doing research on you. I'm glad you came to me, because I do have a question. Jamie asked you a question about Priscilla. How big of and the reason, to everybody who's watching on the CTS network, Jamie does an Elvis Presley inspired podcast. I just said that. Would you shut up? As I was saying.
Yeah.
And to find my show, you want to go to jungleroompodcast.com or youtube.com/The Jungle Room.
That's it, girl. That's it. She's pimping.
He wants to kill me right now. Like, you could see it in his face. He just wants to be. Psh.
As I was saying, the reason why she was asking that question is because she runs an inspired Elvis Presley podcast. And Elvis Presley, you know, when you was learning how to interview people, did you learn how to interrupt them while they talk? As I was saying,
Smackdown.
As I was saying, how big of an influence did Elvis Presley have on you in your singing career?
Well, let me say this, because I have been doing these Elvis tribute shows. Now, not me, and let me preface this by saying these shows were in honor and respect of Elvis and his career, not like the ETAs where they're, I don't know how to say it, where they're dressed in Elvis, you know, costume and what have you. But I had been doing these for, I guess, 6, 7 years, maybe longer. And so hearing all these great songs that he sang was really an inspiration to me. And just reading more about his life and who he was as a person, which is really what fascinates me. And Jaime Kay and I have talked about his spiritual side, which is really fascinating to me as well, along with all his girlfriends. But I have to say, you know, just listening to this incredible catalog, if you look at the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and how he morphed and how he grew and expanded and evolved and as an artist is really incredible to me. I mean, and I love this guy's voice. So I think after reading all these books, I thought, you know, I really honor and respect this man. And he was a flawed hero, don't get me wrong, but I was like, I really want to do something in honor of that, because I love the music so much, like so many people. So there you have it. There's
Well,
a super long answer to a very short question.
well, I got one last question to ask. You know, in the opening, I mentioned all these legends that you open for. Kenny Rogers. I didn't mention Blake Shelton, but you opened for Blake Shelton. Lee Ann Womack or Womack, whatever her name is. I don't really know. But the point about it is this. This is the question I wanted to know. Which artists did you get to work with that you starstruck?
And I have a follow-up question to that
Okay.
when you answer Joey's, because I want to add on to that question.
Oh my gosh, that I was starstruck? Probably Winona. I love her voice. That and Kenny Rogers, because Kenny, God rest his soul, he came with an entourage of 3 buses, and you guys, Lonnie Anderson was back there. A couple other people were back in this inner chamber that he had, you know, where he was just cloistered in the back room, and it's like the president, like having to go through these different circles in order to say hello to him. So those were probably the 2 that I feel like are most memorable. So, and Richie Furay from Buffalo Springfield was one of the nicest. That and the Wilson Phillips, Carney Wilson, super nice. So
Okay, so I have to ask you this, Heather, and
Yes.
extra points if you actually answer, okay? I want to know what celebrity that you've met that you were not impressed with because either they had bad hygiene, they were just rude. I want some names, girl. Like, spill. Like, hold on, let me get my cup so you can pour the tea. Like, come on, give us the tea.
Oh, girl, no. Why did you asked me this about his girlfriends, who my favorite was, and I'm like, you are just, I so don't want to get in trouble.
Okay, so don't tell us the name, but tell us an experience that you had with a celebrity that was not positive.
Whoa. You can't ask a question and tell her not to tell us the story, but don't tell us the name.
Well, she's not comfortable in telling us the name, but
so why did you ask the question?
Well, because you never know. Maybe she's had a few drinks and she's just going to spill it. I don't know.
Say the name.
Tell us.
Just say the name. Heather, look at me. I got your back, girl. When I got your back, I got your back. Say the name. Let the truth out.
This is a safe place.
Yeah. Nobody watches the show.
Yeah.
Literally, nobody watches.
Okay. I mean, but if I put this up on my channel or on my page or whatever, then people are going to watch. I would say, I would have to say, okay, who's saying American Pie? Bye, bye, Miss American Pie.
That guy.
Done.
You know, that guy that sings it.
Well, let me just say this. He did not have the greatest of reputations, and I was warned by several people not to like talk to him, not to bother him, that he wasn't somebody that was very friendly. And the irony was he actually was really friendly. And I had an acoustic trio I was playing with, and they were shooting the breeze with him, and he was talking about how much he loved bluegrass music. And so
well, for the record, I'm a big fan of Don McLean. And
McLean,
that's why whatever, Joey. I saw you Googling when she was talking. Like, you're so
allegedly I was Googling.
But you know what, Heather, I have to say that brings up a good point, because you were warned that this guy was not a nice guy. He was rude, whatever. And so you already had that in your head before you met him. And I find that's one of my pet peeves. I'm one of those people that, like, unless it's a serial killer and it's going to cause me or my family harm, I would like to make up my own opinion about someone. And I want the same to be done to me. And we sometimes put these celebrities and musicians on a pedestal as if they're not human. And hearing you say that is a reminder that, words have power, and words can form opinions that are not always accurate. And I'm glad that you shared that story with us.
Absolutely true. And I think, and maybe he was having a bad day with somebody else, I don't know. And so it definitely, I guess gossip, that's a really, really hard, but good lesson to learn, is that you really don't know unless you've talked with that person and know what was going on in their lives. You know what I mean?
Right. So on that note, what would you like the public to know about you, not only as a musician, but as a person? As a woman of 2020, what would you like the public to know about you?
A woman in 2020. First of all, that I'm just trying to I don't know, that I am I really do believe in the spiritual side of things, that I am a flawed human being, like like Elvis. I'm not Elvis by any way stretch of the imagination, nor do I think I am. But I just, what do I want people to know about me? Hopefully that what I'm doing, especially with my music, is coming from a genuine place. And the fact that what you said about you feeling things when or you feel the song when I sing, is really what it's about to me. It's like it's alchemy. It's making something that, like the alchemist, you're making something that is of use to someone else. You know what I mean? Like, if I can be that sort of alchemist for someone else. And I think so many times music has the ability to translate what we're feeling inside and give it words or expression, where where you sit and listen to a song in your car 20 times and you won't go into the house because you just feel like this so is speaking my heart right now, right? I know you guys both have been there. So that to me is an ultimate goal. I think it's almost like a spiritual service, if you will, for people. Okay. So how's that?
Heather,
lofty goals.
Yeah. Well, Heather, it's always an honor to speak with you. I love talking to you, and I wish we had more time, but my brother has a very inexperienced show, so we're on a time limit. But what I want to make sure that you get a time to do is I want you to tell the public what things that we can look forward to with Heather Lomax and her music. Where can people find your music? Where can they buy your CDs and all that good stuff?
Yeah, please buy some CDs and some albums because I've got a lot now in storage because I thought I was touring.
And everyone, you guys, you can find Heather Lomax's CDs on our website, jungleroompodcast.com. It will link you right to her website, and you can buy the CDs right from her.
Thank you. Yeah, Heather Lomax Music, LOMAX music.com is where you find everything. Hopefully I'm going to come out with merchandise, but I was like, are people buying this? Because everything's online right now, but I guess people do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, right now, online shopping is where it's at. You know, this is the time to get into the mask making business.
Girl, I've got it. I got a special secret mask.
It was an honor and a privilege to have you on my show. My wife actually listens to your music. I've listened to your music. You're a true inspiration, not only to musicians, but to the people that listen to your music. Also, to my wonderful sister who came on and helped me out on this very inexperienced show. She took her time out of her busy day to come on my show and help me out. So I want to thank you very much.
I need to add to that, Joey, and I hope you will include this because I have to tell you, and I am being very sincere, I am really impressed with everything that you've done so far with this channel. I have to tell you, my hat goes off to you. I'm very impressed, and I really think that this is really going to get big.
Aww.
Oh,
like your
sweet.
stomach. All right, everyone. This ends another great episode of CTS Interview Room. Your host, The Joester. We'll see you again next week. I am Jaime Kay from the Joker Room Podcast, and our guest tonight was Heather Lomax. You can find her music on heatherlomaxmusic.com.
Ladies, I just want to say, first off, Heather, it was an honor and a privilege. I said that.
What? A privilege?
You know the cool thing about me? You know the cool thing about me recording? I can edit that part. Now, your mistakes will stay on. The one and only Heather Lomax and Jaime Kay from the host. All this up. Jamie, just close this up.
Thank you,
I
guys.
totally got ass whooped on this interview.
That was so much fun, though. That was a lot fun. A lot funner than it was last time.
Jamie, I didn't stop the record button.
Great. Whatever.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Heather. Damn.
Lomax.
Ladies
and gentlemen.
Hold on. No, see, because I have Womack, Lee Ann Womack in my head.
Different letters.
Yeah, different letters, different language. Ladies and gentlemen,
Different
the one
people.
and only Heather. You shut the hell up. The one and only Heather Lomax and Jaime Kay from the host.